Today I got to meet with a really old school friend of mine. I don't mean nothing. But we were talking, and he has a great sense of humor. He's good on life, and I like him. I've gotten along with him all my life. And then we came back home after having dinner at this restaurant, and I got to play Dave from Blue Collar Logic. And he had a really good sentiment that he put out that I thought was just pretty phenomenal, actually. If you look at today's rioters, all right, we're going to look at this as being, why are these guys running ripshod on every area they go to? And the real question is, where's mom and dad? Well, during all this time, and it's not just their mom and dads. There's other mom and dads that live in these areas, and these guys are just going over and ripping up the whole towns and stuff. Where is the mom and dads in that town? When I grew up, I could get my ass beat by the neighbor's mother for doing something wrong. And today's society says, no, you can't do that. That's not right. That's not legal. Well, why isn't it right? Why isn't it legal? Because the real question on this is, when you've got, we'll use the area of Chaz, or better changed as Chad, the autonomous zone in Washington, where you got maybe 1,200 people that took over a 6-block area. In that 6-block area, I'm going to guarantee you there was probably 3,000-4,000 people living in that area that could have stepped up and said, no, you're not doing this here, you just get the hell out, we're not doing it. But they didn't, and the question is why? Now, I've heard everybody say, well, President Trump should have jumped in, he should have done something. No, President Trump should have done a damn thing. President Trump did what President Trump should have done, and that was to just sit back and say, hey, let this damn thing play out. Let's find out if it works. If it works for these people and they like it, they can have it. We don't want it, but they can have it. And it would have been really wrong if we would have brought in a whole bunch of federal troops or officers or whatever to try to take that area back. It would have been a really bad idea. When the police department was told to leave a precinct, and they did, they abandoned the place, and the place pretty much got burned down. And then the city hall of that part of Seattle, Washington said, hey, come on in, you're welcome here. And they went in, they vandalized City Hall. It's not the federal government's job to step in to take care of a city full of Democrats that just think that it's okay, let them go, they're fine, they aren't doing anything bad. Yeah, they'll worry about it tomorrow. Bullshit. I agree, Trump should not be involved, but I still say bullshit. Why do I say bullshit? I say bullshit because somebody should have got involved. The city's mayor, the state's governor should have got involved. Inslee's an asshole, so we already know that. That was just never happened. But they should have got involved, and they should, hey, guess what, guys? Now you're all in timeout. But they didn't do it. My day, there was no timeout. You got your ass beat. Today, nah, we'll give them timeout. Timeout doesn't work. We've seen it. Look at these guys. These guys don't give a shit about the city that they took over. Half of them probably didn't even live there. If you did live there, you had to prove you lived there in order to get into there. But if you went there as a homeless person, oh, come on in, the door's wide open, we love you. There's something wrong with society today when everybody starts to accept that kind of a relationship with their people, or other people, or any people as far as that goes. There's something wrong with the relationship with the people. There's something wrong with that part of the government. Now people say, well, I'm Democrat. Well, great, then if that's what you think Democratic Party's about, go ahead, sign up with them, go for it. I was a Democrat for many, many years, and that's not what the Democratic Party stood for. The Democratic Party stood for, right, we wanted to make sure your rights are taken care of. Now apparently they just changed their ways and said, no, we're too progressive, we can't do that anymore. Well, great, then don't do it anymore. But you know what? I'm not a fucking Democrat anymore. Now I'm a fucking Republican for a reason. I'm a conservative for one and all. I mean, always a conservative. But I go Republican because, hey, it's the only ticket on the table. As a conservative, I believe, yeah, our government's too big. But then I see this shit going on in Chaz, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe our government just ain't big enough yet. I see places. I forget what the name of the place was today. It was in Minnesota or Minneapolis. I think it was Minneapolis. Yeah, Minneapolis. Oh, we're just disbanding our whole police department. Yeah, okay, well that's great. They did that in New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey. They did that, and then they got rid of the Camden Police Department, and then they opened up the County of Camden Police Department, hired 400 more officers. They made it twice as better than it was before. And they got rid of all the bad guys. That was the funny part about it. When they did that, about 165 of the original officers went and they signed on. And they said, yeah, we want to do this. Okay, you got to go mental health evaluation. Okay, we'll do that. You got to do this. Okay, great, we'll do that. About 165 of the original 200 or so signed back on and said, yeah, we'll do this. We don't care. There was about 68 officers that didn't go back on, and they were probably the 68 worst officers they could have had. And by doing what they did and changing it to the County of Camden rather than the City of Camden Police Department, they did well for their area. Is that what Minneapolis is planning on doing? Who really knows? But they just today voted to abolish their police department. I mean, how stupid is that? Even if you've got another plan, that plan that happened in Camden, that took almost 6 months for them to put that into play and make it work. So you got 6 months of lawlessness. You can't go 6 months of lawlessness. We've already seen what happens when we've got places like Chaz, 30 days of lawlessness. You can't do 6 months. It's not valid. It's not acceptable. Well, that's my rant for today. I can't come up with more to argue on these points, but if you want to be a Democrat, be a Democrat. I don't care. You want to be a Republican, be a Republican. I don't care. If you're independent, I don't care. If you're like me and you're conservative, I don't care. The thing that you should care about and the thing that I do care about that you need to do, sorry for pointing at you because that's a bad thing for doing on video, but what you need to do is get the fuck out and vote. Because if you don't vote, your voice don't matter. I always vote. Always have. Have a good day.